Welcome back. Welcome back to another
Mm, mm, mm.
episode of the Limitless Podcast. And look, first of all, I know
Yes.
we haven't had this format in a minute. Like what? Since well,
What is it,
August,
September?
August.
August?
Yeah,
Yeah, August or
something like
September.
that.
It was right before I left.
Yeah, right before you left. So, like I've been telling y'all, look, Javon, he was gone. That was Javon's business. And I'm gonna open the
Hmm.
floor to let him know or to let y'all know, what he's been up to if he so chooses.
Uh, so I think previously on the previous episode we was talking about me joining the Navy. So that has happened. I am officially owned by the government for the next
Yes,
four
sir.
years. For the next 4 years, I'm owned by the government.
They lost me, gained you.
Yeah, they lost JoJo. They gave me. It wasn't. It's not that bad. It's actually not bad at all. Boot camp was not bad. Boot camp is not what they make it seem like. It's not. So for those of y'all that are hearing the horror stories and all of that, it's not bad at all. The worst part is
I was just about
P
to ask.
days. Go ahead.
I was just about to ask you, like, you know, basic
P days. P days.
basic isn't bad. You know what I'm saying? But
That's the
there's
worst.
always a point in time where it's like you gotten so far, you're like, bruh, like really, like I really got to
Yeah.
deal with this shit. So,
Yeah.
what was that day for you? Because I know it hit me like a ton of bricks.
So that day was, let me see. That day was probably week three, um, when we got IT'd, which is intensive training. We got IT'd for like 2 hours because people just wouldn't shut up. And I'm like, bro, I
That
gotta deal with
happens.
this. I'm like, I gotta deal with this. That was literally probably the worst part. But I'd say you realize, like, I say it all the time. You realize that maturity is not just about an age thing.
Yeah.
Maturity is based on that person
No,
because
I don't go for that.
you have people that are older than me. I'm 34. You got people that are older than me that were immature as hell. And then
Yeah.
you have this 17, 18-year old and you're like, he chilling. It's like, bro, what is going on? So it's a mix. You have to get used to it. It's definitely something you have to get used to. Um, Back to P days. The worst part is P days because you're doing a lot of nothing. Like you're getting processed in. So it's a lot of going here and you're waiting for hours and hours and
But that
hours.
sucks. I'm not gonna lie to you. That
We
that aspect of it sucks.
we got there on a Monday. I got there Monday night. We didn't go to bed until Tuesday night. Like we
Hey,
immediately started process. I got there, I think it was
hey.
like 9:30, 10 o'clock, and we were process and then we went all the way through processing. We didn't go to sleep till Tuesday night, I believe. And it was like, bruh, and they was stay up, stay up. It was like, bro, I'm sleepy. Like I need to go to sleep because we just waiting, bro. You just it's the shit. Excuse me, like a shitload of waiting.
It's the stuff
It's
that
like, man,
hurry up and
come
wait.
on. But like with having a family, the worst part for me was like, yeah, the phone thing, but I think it was
Yeah.
just like not knowing what was going on the outside.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. I If I had to do it again, like it would be so difficult for me to do it the way you did it because
Mm.
to leave your family, like hell, you prac, you practically have a newborn with Koa. You know,
Yeah, he's one. Yeah,
and
well,
to
yeah, he's pretty much one. Yeah.
and to uproot and go do for 8 weeks to go
Yeah.
to do something bigger than yourself. Like
Yeah.
I know a lot of people in the service. We hear that we take it as a cliche, but I mean it's a real thing.
It's
You
a
know,
real thing. Like, with
And
being
you decided to,
with being in now, I realize just how I realize just how much of a sacrifice it is. Like whether you're single, whether you're got a girlfriend, whether you're about to get married, or whether you got a full fledged family,
bro,
it's
that's the
a
big key for
legitimate
it, right?
sacrifice.
Is moving forward with your family without you. You know what
Yes,
I'm
yes,
saying? And like I said, for me, it would have been difficult for me to do it the way you did it. I mean, I give you kudos for doing it. I really do.
yeah.
And
It's not an easy. It's not an easy task.
I'm glad that you had the. I'm glad that me and Andrea could help in any way that we could.
Yeah.
You know, because that's hard for some. That's hard for Kenya to do by herself. So
Yeah.
kudos to her because I'm
Oh
gonna be
yeah.
honest with you. The spouse, and you'll see this, and you probably already noticed this. The spouse is like they're the silent hero in the background. You know what I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
saying?
You.
Like,
It has to be it has to be an agreement thing because yeah, true enough. The financials is being taken care of, the medical, the dental, the vision. True enough, all of that is being taken care of,
yeah,
but that is not in sheer comparison as to all of the other things that need to be taken, all of the day to day
bro.
activities. Because like
The doctor's
even
appointments,
even in sports, like practices and games and uniforms,
bro.
and then you gotta get this, and then you gotta do that, and then she has her own thing going on with with being a hairstylist. Like it's a
It's
lot.
all the things that we take for granted. Let's just keep it a stack. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
It's all the things that we
it
keep for
definitely is.
granted.
But yeah, overall, like I look back on it now, like I'm not gonna lie, that first week
Uh
when we
huh.
finally made it to our permanent compartment, permanent housing compartment, that
Hmm.
first week, I would probably say it was probably like maybe night 3 or 4. I was like, bro, what the hell I done got myself into?
Oh yeah. Bro, that happens.
It
Bro,
was like night 3 or 4, and I was like, bro, what
let
am
me tell
I
you,
doing?
there are going to be moments, and I'm pretty sure you already know this, but there are going to be moments in your military career that you will not know how the hell you remember that happened. Like,
Bruh.
for instance, I'll give you a quick little story on me. We were in college, West Point. It was they call it CLDT, right? So
Mhm.
it's supposed to mimic the first phase of Ranger School, just so you
Mhm.
know, because they want to make sure that every officer is prepared for what
Yeah.
that could be. So we're up on the side of a mountain, right? This is probably it's a 3 or 4 week exercise, and we're like week 4. So we're on the back end of everything, and we are just we're cruising, but we're tired. And we were in the defense phase. So at this point, we're in a secure position on this mountain where we have the high ground. So if you come up, we're able to see you. We had
Yeah.
nice 360-degree security. So it was in the dead of summer, and one night on our last day, it decided to start pissing rain. Like
Mm-mm.
I've never experienced it like that in the field ever before. So naturally, with it, with the elements, the weather, keep in mind everybody's tired from doing this. Like we are ready to go home at this point.
Mhm.
People decided to lax on security, right? So
Mm. Yeah, I know
our
where this going.
attack officer during this time was a major, and he saw that pretty much security was not being upheld. Like
It was
we were
yeah.
stupid and shit, right? Bro, he went around cutting hooches. Bro, nothing is worse in the field waking up to a wet poncho liner smacking you in the face, and you are just like delirious. And bro, for the
Yeah,
first
you're
time,
delirious.
I legitimately felt homeless. I was like, I
Yeah.
don't know what I'm gonna do tonight. And
Yeah.
so at that point, we got, excuse my language, we got nut to butt, hugged it up to stay warm. But that's something that I will never forget. And that happened years ago. Like, yeah.
You have those. I think. Well, me and you talked about it shortly after boot camp. And now being here, like you realize, like when you hear the stories about like how like relationships were built and like how these like you can go you like you see the TikTok videos and stuff, and it's like how this person, how these two soldiers went years without talking, and then they meet back up, and it's like, oh my god, it's like that all type reaction.
Bro, it's
That's
real.
a real thing now because you go through like going through boot camp. I probably got let me see, going through boot camp. I probably got three close friends out of that right now. Two of
Mhm.
them are in San Antonio, and one is in Florida, Pensacola.
Yeah,
But like you have to find like your little, I guess, pod, if you will, to like
fact.
make it through quote unquote make it through boot camp. Like you can do it solo, but it's gonna be a lot harder because
Yeah,
there's gonna be days where you're not gonna feel like doing it. There's gonna be days where you're not
yeah.
gonna feel like pushing through it. There's gonna be days where they don't feel like doing it. It's like, oh, bro, come on. So we would always count like the meals. We knew we
Uh-huh.
got three. We knew we got 3 meals a day. So it was like, all right, you got breakfast. It's like, all right, got two more meals. All right, you got lunch. It's like, all right, got one more. And you hit dinner. And he was like, all right, I made it through another day. Because after the last chow, you know that you got evening
They ain't gonna
routine.
mess with you.
They got evening routine, and after evening routine, you got lights out. You get to go to bed. Yes, you got to wake up and do it all over again, but you made it through another day. So that's how we would like count the
Yeah,
days by. And then like when you start getting letters and stuff, bro, I never realized how much of how the importance of letters are
where you feel different
un,
when a letter comes in.
until you're in a situation where you don't have your phone and you cannot reach the outside world.
Bro.
Bro, letters mean everything. So to any of y'all that family members are going into the military or anything like that, and they tell y'all to write them letters, write them.
Yeah, man. But
Physically write them. And I had to take that note from Alfred because Alfred had brought that up. Like, yeah, you can use Sandbox or something like that, but bro, a physically written letter,
it means a lot, bro. It means a lot.
bro, it makes a world of a difference because you go through those days where you don't know if you're gonna get a letter, and then they call your name out, and you're like, I got a letter.
Man, I just wanted to, man, I really
Yeah,
wanted to tell you
it's
how.
worth it. It's worth it. Anybody my age or you a little bit younger than me is thinking about doing it, bro, go do it. Like I said,
What up,
I
Bumba?
beat out over like 70% of my division, and they were way younger than me. You'll be fine. Go do it.
But like I said, man, like I just wanted to cap this off by just saying, like, I'm proud of you because it's a tough
Appreciate.
decision.
Yes.
I remember me and you had late nights talking about this. And there was a period of time, I'm gonna be honest with you, where I was like, "Oh, he ain't gonna do this shit.
He ain't
Like,
gonna do
it's
it.
just not gonna happen. Like, whatever,
He ain't
whatever."
gonna do it.
But I'm glad you did it. I really am because you took a bet on yourself, and
Uh-uh.
you put your family in a position where y'all gonna be better than what you were before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I had to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's
Facts.
literally what it was. Because
Get uncomfortable for a little
I'm not a people person.
bit.
You know for a fact I'm not a people person like that. So I had to get
You know,
comfortable with literally being uncomfortable. But yeah, so
but yeah, so I
that's
just
it.
wanted to touch on that. So look, let's get to the pod, man. Let's get to the pod. So look, before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe, rock out with us in the comments. Look, we're
I'm
back.
back.
We're
I had to
he's
cut the
back.
dreads, but I'm back.
He's back. So look,
Dreads
rock out with
gone.
us in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe. We're just trying to grow the community. And we want to make sure that y'all's voices are being heard. Look, today on the docket, we want to talk about, of course, college football playoffs because Thursday and Friday is about to be
Yeah.
crazy. One another thing I wanted to talk about is the whole Joy Taylor Skip Bayless, but I don't want to go ad nauseum about like everything that's going on at this point. If you don't know what's going on, that's on you.
It's a crap ton of articles out there
There's a crap
to
ton
go
of,
read. It reports, articles, videos.
but
Yeah.
I think it would be for the sake of our pod and what we
Mm-hmm.
like to talk about is to talk about it from the perspective of a dad. Like,
No.
how would you feel if that was your daughter, whether she did it or didn't do it? Like, I want to know both perspectives because
You're saying if I were, are you saying if I was the,
if
if
you
you're
were if
saying if
you
I
were
was
Jay's dad,
the,
if your daughter went through this
oh, okay. I thought you,
situation,
okay.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
So
if she did
being
do
a,
it and how she if she didn't do it, how you would feel. And then after that, of course, the anime that we have. I'm gonna be honest with you. We fanboyed about this anime all last season. Solo Leveling is back, and episode 1 was
did not
fire.
disappoint.
It did not disappoint. Once again, that is how you open an anime.
That is.
But
That
I
is.
went back and read the manhwa, and episode 2 is about to be fire. But we'll get to that. So look, like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Let's get to it. So CFP semifinals. First of all, before
Mhm.
we even talk about the semifinals, what have you thought about the 12-team playoff altogether?
They dropped the ball. I feel like so
Okay.
some teams, some teams should have rightfully so made it into the 12-team playoff.
Look,
But you also have to look at,
what team should not have made it?
I'm not gonna call the teams out like that. I'm not
Okay,
gonna do
fuck it.
it.
I will. Go ahead.
Okay. I'll let you do it. But certain teams should not have made it into the playoffs.
Okay.
And reason being, because, and I'm gonna take my bias out of it. I'm gonna take my SEC bias out of it
Okay.
because we all know the SEC runs through a gauntlet. We cannibalize each other every year. Like, it's a
Yes.
given. Yes, teams go undefeated. Okay, or teams lose one game. Okay, rightfully so. Kudos to them. Good job. But you also have to look at strength of schedule.
Uh-huh.
I don't, and you have to look at the competition that these teams play. I'm not taking anything away from the actual players
What do you say?
that have done everything that they have done everything right to make it to 12-team playoff or to make it undefeated or be a one-loss team.
Okay.
What I am going to take away is the level of competition when we talk about your your powerhouse schools, and then we talk about your what is it, group of five, and then so forth and so on. I think this year everybody has been disappointed with the playoffs because damn near everybody in the first round got blew out. It was a it was what we said we didn't want, which
Yeah.
was and I'm gonna bring this back up, which was a TCU versus Georgia type situation.
Yes.
Yes, Georgia won the national championship that year, but that was by far the worst national championship game
Yes.
probably in history.
I will not disagree there.
Every, Everybody said TCU shouldn't have been in there, and it clearly showcased that they should not have.
This is a fact.
This is what has happened with this is what happened with the playoffs. You had several teams that got blew out in the playoffs. Um, I think it let a lot of people down because we were excited because we was like, oh, we getting more college football, like we getting this, we getting that.
Uh-huh.
And then we go and the first round starts. And it's like, what is this? Like, legitimately, what is this? I'm pull it up. So SMU played Penn State. I'm gonna start with SMU. Why was SMU in there? Why? Why? I'm not taking
All right.
credit
So
from them
I'm
for
gonna be
having
honest
a
with you.
good season.
I think that SMU was in there. To be fair, because all right. Well, let's look at it. Let's look at it like this. It was either SMU or Bama. Now, keep in mind that the let's act like the playoff game hasn't happened, because that would jade your thought process on this whole thing. SMU just played Clemson tough. Although it wasn't their best outing, they made the game highly competitive, right?
Okay.
The last thing we saw of Alabama was, or the last thing of note we saw from Alabama was Oklahoma. Granted, Auburn was their last game, but people keep in mind, damn, how did Oklahoma happen? You know what I'm saying?
True.
So that for me is why I could still, hindsight being 20, well, hindsight, I can rock with the CFP allowing SMU to be in. Now I hear where you're coming from, where you're saying that.
Do you think SMU was better than Miami?
Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Team wise, not record. Because it's one game.
Yes,
It's a one game difference. I don't think so.
I really do. Because if you keep in mind, okay, Miami. How many times did they pull the rabbit out the hat to win a game?
Several.
Yeah,
several.
Like, that to me does not provide any comfortability on your talent as a team. Now, the talent of Cam Ward, of course, amazing. But that's letting me know your team is deficient in some way if y'all keep allowing this to happen. That is building a pattern. It isn't just a blip on a screen. You know what I'm saying?
It's just hard. It's hard for me to look at, because I got the first round. I got the first round pulled up. And
I mean, the first round was bugs. I'm not.
When you look at the score, when you look at some of these scores, like Texas and Clemson, okay, it was 38-24. But when you look, if you watch the game,
if you watch the game, it's a different story.
The score doesn't do justice to the game.
You're right.
Those games were a lot worse than the actual score. I think the number one letdown out of the entire first round was Tennessee and Ohio State.
Bro,
that was probably the worst showcase for Tennessee in a minute.
That's the most I can remember. But
y'all got thumped.
But question though. Does it speak more to the talent of Ohio State or the inability or lack of capability of Tennessee? Because keep in mind now, Ohio State just did what they did to Tennessee,
and that's what that's what I'm getting at. Initially, I would have said it spoke volumes about the inability of Tennessee. But with now watching the way that Ohio State thumped Oregon, I think it's both. I think it speaks volumes as to how well Ohio State has prepared since. But it also shows, and this goes all the way back to my first statement, it also showcases how when you go through a season playing damn near nobody, and then you listen to the hype, and you've been the number one team this whole run, and then you run into Ohio, and then you run into a hot-headed Ohio State. Because I'm not gonna lie, I don't even think it. I think Ohio State did what they were supposed to do. But I truly think that if Oregon would have ran into, I'll even go as far as say if Oregon would have ran into Texas, or if Oregon would have ran into Texas, I still think the same thing would have happened.
What?
because they would have got thumped. I think
No,
Texas would have thumped Oregon.
I don't. I
I
really
think
don't.
Texas. I think Texas would have thumped Oregon because, bruh, look at
I don't
how
trust Quinn Ewers.
bad. I don't trust Quinn Ewers, but look at how bad Oregon looked, bruh. They defense didn't. They defense didn't show up.
And I'm not arguing that. My thing is that
If your defense
Ohio
don't
State is
show up
just
like
that
that,
talented, bro.
they
Like
are. They are.
so
They
for me, they're an
planned for
outlier.
that.
It's hard for me to say that because Ohio State did that to them means that Texas or any other CFP team would do that to them. Because I can comfortably say Penn State would not do to Oregon what
Penn
Ohio
State
State
ain't.
did to Oregon.
No, Penn State ain't got no Penn. No, Penn State ain't. Penn State doesn't have. Penn State doesn't have the weapons that Ohio State has. I'm looking at the weapons that Texas has now. If the defense, true enough, you might not trust Quinn. You might not trust Quinn Ewers. But if the defense of Oregon showed up like that against Texas with the amount of weapons that Texas has, Texas would have ran down the field. Texas would have ran up and down the field on them. Because I'm looking at Oregon's defense, bro. Oregon's defense was missing lazy tackles.
They were.
Receivers were getting wide ass open. Like,
yes, they were.
And once again, it goes to, okay, when me and you was talking I think a couple of days ago. That's an uncomfortable situation that Dan Lanning has to go have with the AD. Like, bro, y'all, what did y'all plan? Like, what was y'all playing? And his little joke that he made like before the game, we're gonna use the rules to our benefit and this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. Bro, y'all were the number one team damn near the whole college football season.
Yeah.
I don't think people were necessarily expecting y'all to win the game. I'm pretty sure Ohio State fans would. But more so, we wanted to see a game. Last second field goal, last second pick, strip sack. We wanted to see a actual playoff game between two powerhouses, and we saw none of that.
True.
Ohio State called off the dog. Ohio State damn near called off half of their dogs in the second half of the game. That's why y'all started scoring. Offenses couldn't protect. Offensive line couldn't protect. Yeah, some of them sacks was on Dylan Gabriel, but also Dylan Gabriel was out there running for his life. And then you keep putting the defense out there. At some point, defense, that whole bend don't break. That's bull. Me and you both played defense before. When your offense ain't moving the ball, at some point, you not only breaking, you start crumbling.
Facts.
It's like, bruh, we done played more football than y'all have on this game. So, like, man, that was bad. And then you go to Penn State and Boise State. That game, proved one thing to me. That game proved one thing and one thing only to me. It proved that Boise State had nothing but Ashton Genty. That's it. That's what that game showed me.
Yes.
That's all they had.
But we all knew that from jump though.
Some people did it. I read several articles. Some people didn't know that. I mean, us football people,
they've been under a rock because they can throw it deep sometimes, but we all know that team goes as far as Ashton Genty is going to allow them to go.
Period.
So I'm gonna be honest. For me, looking at it, I don't think they got it right. I still like the 12 team, but
I do too.
But I think if anything, this year showed it more than anything that conferences aren't the same.
Fact.
And schedules within conferences
are not the same. No.
Prime example, SMU. SMU did not play the tough half of the ACC,
No.
but they were
Not at all.
undefeated. They didn't
They were
play
undefeated.
Miami.
Nope.
They played Clemson because of the championship game, but they didn't play
Championship.
Clemson.
Yep.
Like those are the two powerhouses in
Yes.
the ACC, and
We
you
talk
were
about it.
able to bypass them to go to the championship game. You know what I'm saying?
We talk about it all the time, and this is why. True enough, an SEC team. The only SEC team left in it is who, Texas,
Yeah.
and they're the newcomer. So true enough, an SEC team may very well not win the national championship this year. It's all up to Texas, but this is why we are so high on the SEC. Not only because this is where we grew up, but also because we've watched years and years of football.
This is
The
different.
SEC is just different. We play each other. We run through the gauntlet and hope that we make it to the playoffs with not a limping, bruised, and battered team.
Bruh.
That's the hope and the prayer. But then you have other teams, like you said, SMU didn't take the bumpy road to get to the playoffs.
This is a fact.
They took the opposite. It goes for other conferences too, bro. You look at Oregon's schedule.
Bruh.
Look at it doesn't do justice where you got everybody is trying to get to the national championship. We gonna give y'all a little slight slippery slope over here.
Yeah.
We gonna put y'all asses through the ringer.
Yeah.
And we're gonna see if y'all can get there. Well,
Bruh.
it ain't the same.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I really feel like they need to do away with the highest rated group of 5 team, because okay, look, we need to stop acting like football is a fair game and everybody needs to be included.
Because it's not.
Some teams, some programs just aren't good enough. That's just how the cookie's gonna fucking crumble. They need to stop doing the highest rated group of 5 school and do conference champions. So you have your Big Four, your the SEC, Big 10, ACC,
Big 12.
12. You do those, right? Those will be all your first round buys.
Yep.
After that, do the highest rated 8 teams. That's after that. Do the highest rated 8.
Because if you want to keep it consistent, and if you want to keep talent, yes.
I think you'll have the best games.
You would have the best games because you have the best talent playing. We have those. We have the anomalies of. You have the anomaly every year where a
TCU.
Hell, a D2 team gets paid $3 million to go play a D1, and they win. You have that anomaly.
NIU against Notre Dame or something like that.
Yeah, they end up winning the game. Okay, kudos to them.
But we know.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
How likely the likelihood of that happening on a regular? It's not. Because for one, facilities are different. Training is different.
Recruiting is different.
Access to amenities is just different for your Power 5. That's why they're called the Power. That's why they're called the Power 5.
And I'm telling you, we're seeing it right now that the football from the Power 4 and everybody else is just different. Because after we got to that first round, the game started getting better. Why? Because more talented teams are playing equal caliber teams.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So
yes,
that's how I would do it, because I honestly feel that if you did the 4 conference champions and then the highest rated 8 until we get to 12, would bring the best games. Now, of course, I'm not saying that that's going to prevent any
It's not going to prevent blowouts,
but
but the odds of it,
you'll have better games. You know what I'm
the
saying?
odds of it, the odds of it happening will be higher.
Because
The odds of having a better game is going to be higher. Yes.
I completely believe this, that it is a failure if I, as a fan, turn off the CFP game. Like, I'm just disgusted with it.
Yeah.
Because at that point, you're losing viewership, you're
Yep.
losing money. I'm not saying that everybody's gonna react like me, but if I'm turning it off, I can
It,
comfortably say a good
it's
portion of people do the same thing.
it's it's a decent amount of people that was like, it's a decent amount of people that I've seen on social media and under the comments, and they're just like, this is terrible.
It's terrible.
This shit terrible. It's terrible.
But
But that's neither here nor there.
so now
They
semifinals.
gonna do what they want to do. They gonna
Oh yeah,
figure it out.
they're gonna do what they want to do.
They gonna figure it out because at the end of the day they want their money. Yep.
Facts.
So semis.
So
So we got
semis.
Texas
Versus Ohio
Ohio
State
State.
this Thursday, and then Penn State versus Notre Dame on Friday. So,
Both of those games, I'm about to ask you. Both of those games, straight out ask who you taking.
All right, so
Ohio State and Texas. Who you taking?
But that's hard. That damn well may be the national championship game right there. Me personally, I'm gonna take my bias out of it. I'm gonna take Ohio State. I will take Ohio State. Like the run that they're on after they lost to Michigan. Oh my gosh. It's like for some reason it finally clicked for them. Like
so are you saying that this is the year that Ryan Day gets one? Yeah, I'm putting you on record. Yeah, I'm putting you on record. I'm putting
okay.
you on record.
Let me if they beat Texas, yes. It's a wrap. It's done. If they beat Texas, it is.
Because if they beat Texas, then you got Penn State or you got Notre Dame.
Now, exactly. Now, my thing is with Ohio State, right? This is going to be one of the most competitive secondaries they're going to see.
Yeah, hell yeah, especially with Makuba. Oh. I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah. Oh, I was just about to bring him up. Yeah, savage, bro.
Yes, straight savagery out there,
bro. I don't know. Was Makuba this good at Clemson? Because, bruh, he is showing out this year.
I think he was. He just had to get to a different atmosphere.
Bruh, that atmosphere. Oh my gosh.
I think he just had to. I think he had to get to a different atmosphere because there's no way. Because yes, it's training and practice and watching film and all of that, but there is no way that you are that talented just from, and you already didn't have that in you.
Bro, he reminds me a lot of Earl Thomas. He really does. Bro, he is a hitter in every sense of the word.
And he can cover. That's the thing.
And he's fast. And he's smart. So
I'm taking Texas. I'm gonna take Texas because of Texas's defense.
This is my thing, right? While Texas's defense is great, this is probably gonna be the best defense Ohio State has seen in a minute. Those weapons that Ohio State has, with that two-headed monster in the backfield, and just having a competent quarterback.
Texas, I mean, this is
and their defense is fire because they had never been in a compromising situation because of their defense.
And this is obvious, but I think it's going to come down to. I don't think it's going to come down to big plays. I think it's going to come down to how well can Ohio State's quarterback sustain a drive and pick apart Texas's defense, or how how good will Quinn Ewers be? How long will he go mistake free?
And I'm telling you, that is
Or
why I
minimal?
don't trust him.
Minimal. Because
Because
let me take that back. I'm not gonna say that he has to go mistake free, but
and I'm
one,
not to fuck up.
maybe two. I'm gonna give him two. I'm gonna give him two. That's it.
Bro, I'm telling you, like, he's like a heartbeat, bro. He's up,
When, when
down.
he's on his own. Yeah, he's on his own.
When he's on, he's on. Like, but when he's off,
Mm-hmm.
like, it is bad.
Bad.
Like, bad.
It's
So,
bad.
but because of that is why, because of that and a litany of other things. Because that defense, like I said, that defense is fire. They have never been in a compromising situation because of their
True.
defense. It's always
True.
been because their offense wasn't moving the ball or play calling was just stupid. But Chip Kelly is in his bag right now, and they are looking like a well-oiled machine. And I said this to a couple of my friends that it at this point it is national championship or Ryan Day's gone.
Oh yeah, he already know he on the hot seat. He
Is
already knows
national
it.
championship because that's the only thing that can cover for losing to Michigan for 3 years, 3 straight years.
And this past Michigan team that you lost to,
Oh, that's by far the worst. That
you
has to
lost
be
to
by far the
you
worst.
lost to a Michigan team that only, and I'm bringing them into it. You lost to a Michigan team that only put up 19 points against Alabama.
Bro, don't get
And
me
that
started.
game was
Don't even get me
that
started
game
with
was
Alabama.
that game was horrendous. No, I'm not gonna talk. I just had to bring it up. That game was horrendous. All right,
So
now,
I have Ohio State winning, and
hmm
then I feel like the Penn State Notre Dame game that's going to be a tough game to call because Notre Dame has a great defense. Penn State has a great defense. Notre Dame really focuses on running the ball. Penn State focuses on running the ball. They kind of mix in the pass with the tight end, but Drew Aller is okay. He's okay. So that's a tough game for me to call. I
all
could
right, but
see a world where either team would win, but
yes,
we're not here to say well, it's either or. So I'm gonna definitively say that Penn State is going to beat Notre Dame.
yes, and yes, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Yes, Notre Dame beat us. Yes, they did. They beat Georgia. We looked like
But
ass,
that game was
but
telling though, bro. It really
it,
was.
that game, it really was telling. It was telling for two reasons. It was telling that Georgia has some work to do, seriously.
Yes.
But it was also telling that Notre Dame don't have much. Notre Dame really ain't got much.
They don't really. Yeah.
There was several times where if we, and this is no shot at Gunnar Stockton because bro just got thrusted into the fire. There is, when you look at that game, it's like, okay, something has to break at some point, and unfortunately, Georgia broke. Georgia broke, and Notre Dame took full advantage of Georgia breaking.
Yeah.
And when that happened, I was like, yeah, this is over with for us. Hold on one second.
No, you good.
Yeah. When that happened, I was like, yeah, this is bad. This is bad business. This is bad news bears.
He says bad news
But
bears.
bad news bears. But I'm looking at, I feel like that game is gonna be a low scoring game.
Uh-huh.
Um I don't feel like there's gonna be many big plays. I feel like it's just gonna be like it's gonna be like a juggernaut. It's gonna be kind of slow and just kind of grinding through, 6, 7 minute 5 to 6 minute possessions, maybe even 7 minute possessions. Then it's gonna get down to playing keep away. And whoever hits a late second field goal, I feel like that's who's gonna win that game.
Yes.
Because Notre Dame is gonna play very conservative. I think Penn State might take more chances than Notre Dame, but I feel like Notre Dame is probably gonna play way more conservative. So
Yeah, I
but
mean,
we'll see.
I feel like they're going to try and run the ball because that's going to be their strength.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I just don't. 1 second. Yeah, I just don't. It's hard for me, you know. So I really see that. I really see that it's going to end up being Ohio State, Penn State, and then of course when they see each other, Ohio State's going to give Penn State going to give them the business.
Yeah.
And it's going to be Ohio State winning the national championship. So
if Ryan Day doesn't win, they gonna oh God. He might as well start looking for a job. Yeah. He might as well start looking for a new job if he don't win this one.
Oh yeah, if he don't win it, he may as well start looking for another job. But
yes.
But yeah, look, let us know in the comments below who do you think is going to win the semifinals, and hell, who do you think is going to win the national championship? So, as Vaughn and I told you, I personally think it's going to be Ohio State, Penn State, and Penn State's going to come out on top. Oh, I'm sorry, and Ohio State's going to come out on top and beat Penn State. And he seems to be rocking with, I guess, the same. Well, he thinks Texas is going to win.
I think it's going to be Texas and Penn State.
And we know who's going to win if they end up playing. But yeah. So man, I'm looking forward to it. These are going to be some fire games. So next topic in the shoot. Okay. So like I said in the beginning, if you don't know what's been going on with the whole Skip Bayless, Joy Taylor situation, look, that's on you. You've been living under a rock. I'm not here to rehash it. And I really don't want to talk about it because I feel like people are just using it for clickbait and whatnot, and try to get
they are.
But for the sake of our podcast, right? I thought it would be,
and it's not gonna be long, guys. It's gonna be fairly quick.
This is just I wanted to hear from you, your perspective, like from a father's perspective, right? Because we both have kids. Mm-hmm. Granted, we don't have girls, but we have kids. So to some degree, we can have this discussion, right?
True.
So I want you to put yourself in the shoes of Joy Taylor's dad. If this was your daughter going through this, right? Now, from two different perspectives, whether this is your daughter and she did it, and this is your daughter, you know for a fact that she didn't do it. How would you react?
Are you saying like the victim, or are you saying Joy Taylor?
If you were Joy Taylor's dad, and
I heard that
she slept around to get where she's at.
No, they said it's what's her name is. Joy Taylor is the.
No. You read it wrong.
Oh, push pause.
I'll bring you up to speed. I'll bring you up to speed real quick. So
okay, yeah, bring me up to speed.
Literally, you're just getting the people mixed up. So the hairdresser is the one that filed the lawsuit against Dixon. I think is his last name. The VP
Dixon. Yeah.
Dixon, Bayless, and
Joy.
Right?
Enjoy. Yeah.
She essentially said
her name Faraji is the one the hairstylist that filed the lawsuit.
Yes. So Faraji filed the lawsuit. In regards to Skip, she said that Skip, kept trying to make advances towards and the 1.5 million. Okay, cool. Dixon did the same thing, not the money, but he made advances. Joy is where essentially Joy said that, Joy Taylor started off as a bartender and on radio in Miami. And the lawsuit is painting the picture, or is insinuating, that Joy Taylor slept her way to where she's at right now. So she slept with Dixon. Dixon put her on the show Speak with Emmanuel Acho, put her on started her off on Undisputed, because you remember that's where she came in as Undisputed between Skip and Shannon.
Skip and Shannon.
Yep. Then she moved to Speak with Emmanuel Acho. And so that.
And now she on the one now with Keyshawn and Paul Pierce?
Yeah, she's on that.
Okay.
And so that she essentially slept her way to where she's at. And that in the same breath, she said that when Faraji said in the lawsuit that she was sleeping with Dixon and Acho at the same time. And Faraji told her, look, you may want to watch out that you're sleeping with both of them. You don't want Dixon to find out, and then he forces you out. And she said, well, I'm in a position of power now, so if he does try to do something like that, I will just allege that he forced himself onto me.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's where everything's at. So I say all that to say, and go back to my question. Let's do a scenario here. If you were Joy's father, and you caught wind of this lawsuit, just like everybody else, right? How would you react if, one, you found out that it was true?
That my daughter slept her way to the top.
Yes.
Okay.
And then, two, how would you feel, or how would you react if you know for a fact it's not true, but your daughter's name's being tarnished?
Okay.
Or being put in the question.
So I'm gonna take the second part. I'm gonna go in reverse. I'm gonna take the second part first.
Okay.
As me being her dad, so to speak, in this hypothetical, thinking there's no way that I could possibly know that it's not true. That it's not 100. That it's 100% not. That it's 100% false.
I mean, let's say you gave your daughter the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
You talked to her. She told you that this is not true.
Okay. So if that's the case, then yes, she's in the spotlight. Yes, she's in the social media world. Me being me and her having the funds to do so, I'm gonna pull her rap legs. We taking this shit to trial, nigga. Let's go. Ain't no settling, Jack. You ain't settling nothing. Because because by settling, you are somewhat admitting to that either all or some of this is true.
Yes.
Now, if you know that this is 1000% false, and this is me talking to her, you are not settling. I don't give a damn what Skip does. I don't give a damn what Dixon does. I don't give a damn what nobody else does. You are not settling because you know that this is false. You are taking this to trial and you are getting your name 100% cleared from all of this BS.
Okay.
Period. Point blank. Take it as you will. Now, with her being a full-grown adult, you choose to take the advice, or you can choose not to. But understand that by taking this settlement, because I bring up settlement because we know that this is typically what happens in these situations. This is what typically happens in these situations. It's an admission of guilt to some degree.
It is.
At least one portion of this story is true. Whether you started by sleeping your way to the top and then you stopped and then you got it then by your blood, sweat, and tears, or you slept your way all the way to this position.
Yeah.
Now, on the flip side to that, if it came out that it was true, you're a grown woman. But I will say this. How you get it is how you lose it.
Okay.
For starters, your ass played with fire, you got your ass. Get that ass roasted. Now, to some people, they may be like, "Oh, you need to stand with your." No, I'm not standing. I'm not standing up for wrong. I'm not standing up for wrong
Yeah,
with the child or not. You knew you were dead wrong for doing this. You knew that it may have taken longer for you to get to that
yeah,
point, but you would have gotten and you would have had nothing to worry about. When
yeah,
people do stuff like this, it always ends up coming back on them at some point because somebody has a record somewhere along the way. And when you start dealing with executives and CEOs and all this other stuff, they're not dumb. They got records. You are going to get burned way faster than they are.
yeah,
Damn near every single time. They don't get burned. You do. You lose
yeah.
everything. You lose the reputation. You lose the money. You lose the lifestyle. You lose all of this while they get, I ain't even gonna say a slap on the wrist. They get a tap with a finger on the wrist and it's like gone about your merry way. So if it all comes out that she did, then you have done what, and this is no disrespect to women, but you have done what so many other women have done, and you should have learned from it by now. It never ends well when
You're
you're
right.
dealing with high level executives. It never ends well when you do this type of stuff. Never.
I mean, so for me, right?
I mean, it might be
If
a
it
little bit more harsh than what you're gonna say, but that's just me.
if it if it wasn't true, I would rock out the same way. I would same way you did it, right? Now, if it is true, one, I would still love my child regardless.
Yeah,
And that's my child. That is my seed. I
you,
would I would
yeah,
still love and support her regardless. You know what I'm saying? But
but you screwed up.
with that love and support also comes accountability. And also comes the fact that at least in my situation, I didn't raise you to be that way. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And I don't teach my kids, nor will I teach my kids that taking the taking the shortcut, the morally unethical route to success, it's not right, nor is it good. Because I I would hate for my child to do something like that, because it's not just you that's going to be tarnished at this point. Now we're going to be looking. That's my name. That's my name that you're putting in the ground. You know what I'm saying? By
You
your
have a you have a crap load of collateral. You have a crap load of collateral damage that you don't realize that what's about to happen.
one thing that my parents taught me, and I would tell this to any parent that has kids. One thing they always taught me is that when I walk out the door, I'm a representation of them.
Period.
Whatever I do is a representation of them, whether good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
So why would I go out doing something that I know my parents don't approve of, even if I am a grown adult? Because at the end of the day, they're my parents. In some respect, it is going to come back to them. You know what I'm saying? And from a
But
parent
it
perspective, if my child does that, then I gotta look back at myself like, where did I fuck up? Because this isn't just a this is a learned behavior. This isn't something
yes,
you just jump
yes,
into.
yes,
This is a part of, like,
yes.
this is a lifestyle. I would assume.
You
You know what I'm
wanted
saying?
you wanted a lifestyle just that bad that you were willing to jeopardize every
Your morality to do it. Like,
yes.
so I
But even
I
with
would
that
love my
though,
child, but
like
I would be disappointed because I didn't teach you to succeed in life by sleeping your way around. Once again, this is if this were to happen.
Because also you're looking at it from, and we can wrap it up after this. You're also looking at it from a standpoint of you are now you are now classified as the stereotypical woman in that area. And you have now made it so, as much as we talk about, as much as, and I mean we as in, general
I know.
population, as much as we talk about women empowerment and women's success and women equal rights, if this comes out to be even remotely, even a shred of this comes out to be true, you have now destroyed
Your reputation,
all
even if you
your
didn't do anything illegal.
your reputation. Yeah, you didn't do nothing illegal, but you have now destroyed your reputation. You have also now destroyed any credibility for women that are coming up behind you wanting to get into this area, because now they're going to, God forbid they be fine, beautiful, whatever you want to call it, they are going to be looked at in that same light. Even
But
if they be
let me
like,
watch out because she may move like that.
even if they be like, I don't even roll like that. Don't even try to, don't even step to me like that.
Yeah.
It's inevitably going to happen because you have these executives, CEOs, supervisors, whomever, that are going to look and be like, hey, you want the position, you want to go out for a drink or something. It always starts very subtle.
It does.
Hey, you want to go for, oh, I'll change your schedule for you, this, that, and the third, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. That's why I said, if they settle, which more than likely they are,
Mm-hmm.
she may not get taken off of air, but she's screwed.
Yes, to some degree, yes, yes.
She's screwed. And for
With people
those of
coming
y'all
behind.
that think, and for those of y'all, let me say this real quick. For those of y'all that think that we're not touching on Dixon and we're not touching on Skip Bayless and all that, like as if we're trying to uphold them if they are involved in this, it's not that case. That's not the case. The point that we're making is we know what typically happens with them.
Yes.
That's a given,
My issue with
whether it's
Joy,
true or not.
yeah, whether it's true. My issue with Joy is that she went on multiple podcasts and said that I have to work twice as hard, three times as hard to get to where I'm at. And while I don't disagree with that, because as a black man, like
Yeah, yeah.
yes,
The writing's on the wall.
yes. So I agree with I hear you. I understand that sentiment. But for this to come out, and I'm gonna be very honest with you, like I tried to smell out the bullshit. I really did. But and me and you talked about this. When reading it, there are certain things that are said that it is just, for me, it's difficult for someone to lie about that particular of a detail. Like, okay, yeah, you may lie over I guess an umbrella of a topic, but those were very
Specific.
specific details where it's like, bro, like unless you were just a good storyteller, like,
Yes.
bruh, that and I
The
guess
only
the thing is, like,
the only way that you get that information is you are on the inside.
you lived it.
You
And bro, like it's one of those things where it's like when reading it, it was one of those like I can believe that this happened. I can
right,
truly believe that this
right.
happened. And
And
if it
I'm
does come
not
out to be,
wondering.
that's my
I'm not
issue. joy. It's like you painted this facade, but that isn't the case.
In her case, all of this has to come out and be false.
Yes.
1000% false.
Yes. Skip
It has
career
to.
is done. It's a wrap. After
Dixon
Shannon left, it's done.
Dixon
He really can't be hurt in this situation unless he
too
wants to
high.
come and clear the
He
suit.
he too high up. He could have checked. He could have checked this, that, and the third. Blah 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 blah. Blah. Keep all his additional stuff private.
Cut a check, get laterally moved, something like that.
For her, it has to all be false.
Bro,
none of this can be true.
I feel like if she is remotely tied in and it comes out to be true, she's gone. Because Fox is going to clean their hands of it.
Once again, how you get it is how you lose it.
This is fact. So I think this is a perfect place to cap off our episode. Man, it is great that you're back.
Yes, bro.
It is great that you're back. Look, like I said, if you're rocking with the content, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. That is something small for you, but means so much for us. And we want you to be a part of the community. You know what I'm saying? Stop being greedy. Tap in with the family. All right. So, without further ado, we will catch you next week on the next podcast episode. We'll be talking about the CFP at that point. All right. Who we think is going to win the national championship. But, hey, without further ado, y'all, we'll catch you on the next podcast. Deuces.
And if you haven't watched Solo, please go recap.
Yes. I'm dropping a reaction to it. I just got to chop it up, edit it, and post it tonight.
Watch the episode, people. Watch it.
So,
that's all I'm going to say. Just go watch it. But yeah.
All right, y'all. Y'all be
With
easy.
That being said, love y'all. Deuces. We out.
All right. Let me go do my fatherly duties because this boy about to have a conniption.
All right, bro.
I'm
probably gonna create a couple of shorts probably tomorrow. I gotta find some clips because Castlevania is about to come out too. So
that's about to be fire.
Yeah, I gotta suit myself up for that one.
All right, bro. You have a good night.
All right, man. Later.